These are some of the children who will benefit from all this hard work. They're among the 12 children who attend the King Family Daycare and will now have a safe environment to learn and play. One major reason Extreme Makeover Home Edition wanted to build a new home for the King family was because of the mold growing there. It posed a potential health risk to the children they cared for at their in-home daycare, as well as to their own daughter, Layla. Debbie Fabian explains.
And she developed asthma, and she was hospitalized several times, and so we're realizing that her environment is very important, and this house is just starting to deteriorate a little bit.
It was 7-year-old Layla's health that was a real concern for the designers.
He is really trying to encourage to get her off those medications. So if I could put something in the room such as hospital-grade air conditioning, that would be something that I'd be looking into this week, speaking with her doctor and finding out what are the things that can help heal her from the inside out.
But the mold in the home wasn't affecting just Layla. It was also affecting some of the children who attended Alicia's daycare.
I can't wait because Anthony has asthma too. So with Layla's asthma being so bad, I've noticed Anthony's acts up a little more the longer he's here. You know, like at night, he has to go up to the main living area. So the next day, I've noticed he's a little more raspy and that kind of thing.
Not only would a new daycare mean a healthier and safer environment for the children, it would also mean better equipment and better tools with which to teach them.
This is just going to help them even more so, you know, because eventually the media component of all this is going to die down. But the bottom line is Alicia's job is to get those kids ready to enter school. And these materials that they're going to be getting and all these donations, these are going to help them to do just that.
In order to make sure the new daycare met standards, child care representatives from both the state and local level were brought in. And daycare parents gave designers suggestions on how to make the daycare better.
Just listening and talk to the designer and what some of the plans were that he had for the house, and to have a donation room to help with the fact that she has donations for clothes, and the fact that she feeds everyone, talking about the big kitchen that she's going to have to continue to do that.
But even with all these changes, parents say they know some things won't change, including the mission of the daycare.
When you have a child care provider that provides exceptional child care for the families that can't afford that high level, we got to, they have to be selective. They have to make sure that the family really is in need. So I think that, they'll continue using their discretion, but I know that they'll want to serve all. I know that.
And the kind of love and care the children receive here.
It's just a strange feeling to be able to easily give your kid up. You know what I'm saying? Easily just hand them over to somebody. That's how it is with Alicia. When you give your child over to her, it's almost like you put them in a safe.
It's the reason their niece nominated Alicia and Curtis for a home makeover. And it's the reason she feels confident that this is just the beginning for the Kings.
And this family is really planting that seed that is going to spread a wave of service throughout the Charlotte community, and I'm so blessed to be a part of it.
As you might expect, many people who live in the area are hoping those improvements to the King home translate into improvements to their neighborhood as well. The Windsor Park neighborhood is in East Charlotte between Sharon Amity and Kenilworth Avenue. It's an established, proud neighborhood that for the most part existed without much fanfare. But as Greg Suskin explains, that all changed once Extreme Makeover Home Edition rolled into town.
The folks who live along quiet Sudbury Road were told that things would change when Extreme Makeover Home Edition came to town.
I had to go catch the bus at Eastland, come around the block. They even passed my house bringing me here, but that's okay.
And for the most part, neighbors were open to the idea of a little taste of Hollywood on their street.
It's been wonderful. It's seeing humanity at its best. The people, it just gives you cold chills, all the good, everyone's volunteering, and it's just been wonderful. I'm in awe of the goodness of Charlotte.
The lights, cameras, and crowds were a nice novelty for the first day or so. And some Windsor Park neighbors who didn't even know the King family vowed to get to know them better. What do you think about what you're seeing here?
I think this is fabulous. Just great. Great. I mean, we didn't even know that this lady lived in the neighborhood and did all what she does. Couldn't find anybody more top-notch.
And now they know who he is. I think he's a hometown hero, how they say he is.
But as time wore on, people's patience wore thin. Ray Montgomery lives next door to the Kings. He draped his bedroom window with black plastic so he could sleep. It didn't really help.
I put up some black plastic to keep the light from coming in, and my windows are pretty good to keep the noise out. And but it's been a hectic pace.
I'm going to bed maybe a little later last night at 1, but you sort of get used to it after a while, all the noise.
And while Margie Bowling saw it as just a minor inconvenience for a few days, Earl Calloway was ready for the cameras, the crew, and the crowd to pack up and head out.
At first, I was into it just like everybody else, but it kind of gets dull after a while, and seeing that I'm a resident here and I just can't come and go as I please, it kind of was disturbing for a little while.
And after 8 days, Calloway got his wish. The RVs and the crowd rolled out for good. But Windsor Park neighbors hoped that the enthusiasm and the new energy in their East Charlotte neighborhood would stick around.
We're told that before producers set up shop, they contacted the neighbors and got permission to use their property as needed. Neighbors say the show promised to repair any damages. Some neighbors told us they experienced dead lawns, cracked driveways, and things of that nature. The production team says they kept a crew in town for 2 weeks to make sure all the neighbors' concerns were addressed.
Total joy and utter disbelief. Alicia and Curtis King sit down to explain what it really felt like when the bus finally moved. And hear why they call it
a modern-day miracle.
Charlotte's Extreme Makeover Home Edition, brought to you by Bojangles and Ashley Furniture Home Store.